what this will do is build an audience. So when we get the vets going, just give an update today on what's going on. So see how it says it's going to build an audience for us.
Okay.
Then you'll start seeing people
Uh-huh.
log in. See, right there. Then you'll start seeing maybe hearts go across, or see, there you go. Hello, guys. We're over here on top of the Facebook hill, 1 o'clock, where it's not. It's trying to look at how hot it is. What 23 degrees. It's 23 degrees up here. Best time to be up here because nobody is up here. It means no selfies, nobody running you down, trying to interview you. Just come up here, do an update, share with you about the day that's going on. The veterans, I got my brother Pat here. He's Cheyenne.
Aho.
And he's also a vet, and gonna do ask him some thoughts on what he thinks about what's going on here with all the veterans coming in.
It's good to see the vets come in. I met with some of the vet leaders today. We talked a little bit about the protocol, what the tribe's expectations were, and then let the leaders take the bull by the horns. The vets here, from my understanding, are here because they believe there's constitutional rights being violated. They fought for these constitutional rights, and they're very upset that the tyranny here is still happening here with American Indians, and they wouldn't put up with it for other citizens. They're definitely not going to put it up with it for the first citizens here. They fought, they sacrificed, they were wounded to defend the Constitution. The Constitution says that treaties are the supreme law of the land. The jurisdiction here is retained by the tribe under the 1868 treaty, and previous to that, the 1851 Treaty of Fort Laramie. The tribe still retains airspace jurisdiction, mineral jurisdiction, cultural resource jurisdiction, and jurisdiction over the riverbed. So,
how about airspace?
Airspace jurisdiction, absolutely. So there is a need to exercise that sovereignty, and the vets are here to help the tribe enforce that jurisdiction, just like they would any other American jurisdiction.
What does that mean for tribes? A lot of people will think about vets. What does that mean? And like when you were talking about the Geneva Convention being violated over on November 20th with the officers shooting medics in the back and the wounded in the back. What does that mean for a vet to know that?
For a vet to see that happen on our own soil is heartbreaking. To fight for the rights, and not even do the things that the state of North Dakota is doing to the indigenous people in the Middle East. This doesn't even happen. The Geneva Convention does not allow people to be shot in the back, does not allow cruel and unusual punishment in regards to people who are wounded, shooting medics. The Geneva Convention is an international agreement that's binding on the United States, and the state of North Dakota doesn't feel like they have to abide by the Geneva Convention or federal law. They're acting in a state of tyranny, and the veterans that have come here to support the tribe understand that all of our constitutional rights are being violated, as well as the tribe's inherent rights. The tribe's inherent rights are bound by the Constitution of the United States. The Constitution says treaties are the supreme law of the land. It does not mean the tribe's under the jurisdiction of the Constitution. What it means is the Constitution legally binds America to respect those inherent rights, and the state of North Dakota has decided to defy the Constitution, and that's what's upsetting the veterans here.
So for veterans that want to come up here, what do they need to know when they come to Standing Rock prior to coming?
Well, they need to know that there's protocol here, there's a veteran leadership here, and they're in direct contact with the tribal elders, and they need to know that this isn't just going to be a bunch of vigilantes out here. This is going to be an organized movement. They need to bring supplies to make sure that they are able to take care of themselves out here. And there's going to be over 3,000 vets here by tomorrow. So just know that you'll be taken care of when you get here, but plan on taking care of yourself as well.
Anything else that for our non-native veterans out there, what should they know about the vets?
Well, non-native veterans know that the tribal elders have to live here after we all leave, and so there's protocol, cultural protocol, and respect. Ideally, if there's a Lakota veteran out there that can translate when the veterans approach the elders in the morning, that's a sign of respect. So what we need to do is ensure that we respect the people here, and in particularly our elders here.
There you go, relatives. An update today, and we're continuing to read you the indigenous media as well, working on our technology, working on our bandwidth, making sure that we have cellular updates. And wherever we are in this area where there was forced media blackout a few months ago, there's forced cell phone loss, and we're continuing to update our communications as the best we can. Let's see. The no-fly zone has been enacted again today. There we go again. Back to square one. We have the evidence, and the officers, the police, Morton County, did not have the evidence. We showed the violations of the human rights violations, the Geneva Convention, the animal rights with the buffalo being held in there with no food and water. So much evidence, and it continued. It wasn't enough. So any drone pilots that want to come here that you're drone certified to fly a drone, not FAA certified to fly a drone, will be able to fly immediately. So come here to the camp. Find me. I'm usually not on Facebook Hill because it's chaotic during the day. I'm here at night like this, 1 o'clock. We're doing what we can. Everyone's handling the cold. It is cold, and the degrees are dropping. So I'm feeling kind of wind. My face is still thawing out, and it's not greasy anymore. So anything else that we're kind of missing out that's happening over here? I think I wanted to share a little bit about Morton County is trying to get their veterans to jump on their side, but these guys are a different type of veterans. They don't seem to have the same type of respect.
Well, the veterans that are coming here are here to uphold constitutional rights and stop tyranny. They've sacrificed their lives for this country. They love this country, and what's happening here is heartbreaking for veterans. The veterans that are taking a stand with the pipeline aren't those veterans. Those veterans are bought and paid for locally. They're local chapters that are asking to call out, and those are veterans that don't necessarily see the oppression of Indian people as a violation of the Constitution.
There was something we saw on Morton County's police department. They're modeling our social media, they're modeling our Facebook pages, they're modeling our fundraising, and they're learning from us. Same thing that we seen was happening in Egypt and Palestine. Is they didn't have the tools that we have, this generation has, and they still don't. They're still learning, and they're watching our videos, but we're debunking everything that they're saying and doing. One of the things that we saw in a video was that they actually went across the river and stole a flag. What do you think about that?
Provocation, playing war games, and accusing us of being violent because we want to go to our sacred mountain across the river and pray. Then they want to come across the river and play games, and then act as if that's okay.
Maybe explain to people when you said pray, why is it important to pray in those sacred areas, and why do we need access?
It's because who we are. That mountain is sacred to the Lakota, the Dakota, Nakota people, as well as the Arikara and the Mandan people. If we don't have access to our sacred sites, we're not able to practice our religion, our culture, and eventually we aren't able to be the people that we've always been. We're forced into other religions. We're forced into a situation where we don't even feel like our prayers are being heard. So access to our sacred sites is one of the most critical thing for indigenous people, and the tribe has jurisdiction over their burials, their sacred objects, their cultural resources, and they have a sovereign right. The people have a sovereign right to have access to where their ancestors are buried, where they gather food, where they gather medicine. To deny that access is an act of genocide.
What do you think about this camp here, being here as long as you have? What do you think about the camp, and what's been the most pressing thing that stuck out to you? Camp, yeah, that just made you feel really good.
Just the family, it's like the unity. If someone gets stuck in the snow, people don't just walk on by or drive on by. Everybody stops and digs them out. Everybody's got each other's back. Whether it's food, whether it's getting warm, it's amazing to see how people support each other in this camp. It's not something I've ever experienced in any other setting in the modern Western culture in America even. What we're seeing here is a glimpse of how it used to be for us when we were part of the ecosystem, and when we were in harmony with our supernatural, and we're seeing a glimpse of that here. So come on out and help support us up here. We need you.
Find your warrior spirit and come out here and support. And if you can't, you still can have your warrior spirit out there. It's like tending the fire ceremony on the outside, and like bringing wood to the fire. So everyone's part of this circle, this healing. And I think it's really good for the vets, that may have that post-traumatic stress, that this is the healing. What do you think? When you come to that fire, when you heard your relatives singing?
Yeah, it's there's the spirit is working here, and if you have PTSD and you're a veteran, come over here. There's ceremony going on over here. There's a lot of brotherhood with all the vets out here. There's going to be a permanent camp for the vets out here. It will be a healing process. Come on out if you're feeling isolated, and there's family out here waiting for you, brothers, you're needed, and also there's blessings here waiting for you. PTSD, is an issue we all face as vets, but giving back is a healing mechanism, and the spirit's working out here. So come on out, veterans.
Is there any thoughts on the women vets?
Well, the women vets are the real leadership out here, and when these vets leave, they're going to be handing that leadership over to the women. In our Plains Indian culture, the women are the backbone, and the men are the jawbone. So We have women veterans out here that have been in combat. We have women veterans out here that have been drill instructors. They're an important part of this movement. So we encourage our female vets to come on out as well.
Yeah, and I seen them out there. They look like they're ready. They're already in shape, and I, hearing them say 1800, and I'm trying to get that military time going on. We're still on Indian time. It's noon time. It's morning time. Right now we know it's midnight. That's our time right there, Indian time. Stay warm, relatives. The sacred fire they're singing down there. We put some cedar and sage on there for all you out there. Said some pijama nishtahai, pijama good spirit. Pijana nishtahai shunami yadawa, good thoughts, good words. Pijapuni umiara, sending them blessings. The nishtahai humiara to you in your way, in a good way. Aho, aho.